afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another riveting, exciting, amazing Propagandacast from your host, ImperialDane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland, of here to 2 vs 2 on fields of Winnekendonk. In the north, it's gardening, we'll just call him Gardener, and DarkElllf fighting for the Allies. King, Country, and America side by side, forming up here the Guards Armoured Division backed up by the 6th Armoured. With Royal Artillery and Airborne, all infantry on their side in the south, it is ImperialDane, fighting for the Wehrmacht, and with Chiller, also fighting for the Wehrmacht. Forming up here, the Panzer is shown. Also worth noting, DarkElllf is currently ranked 12 with the Brits in 2 vs 2s. Gardener, I'm not sure about, I'm pretty sure he's high ranked, and Chiller is, I think, roughly around rank 130, and I'm a rank, so a bit 20. Had some bit of bad luck with some teammates lately, but anyways. We got here me with German Infantry, being only Chiller without a doctrine within the first minute of the game. He's got defensive, Jaeger Infantry, and Spearhead doctrine available to him. Love to see, of course, where this goes. We've got double seconds out there for DarkElllf. Gardener with double Pathfinders. I'm going for Grenadiers MG42s, and Chiller's also going for Grenadiers MG42s. Heading each their own way. We got section moving out here. We can see, though, the Allies focusing a bit here hard southeast against Chiller, which of course I won't be quite aware of right as I move ahead here. British force, moving note the positioning of the machine gun here, very aggressive position there by DarkElllf, and certainly as for British, I feel like it's actually quite crucial if you're not just going to go full infantry spam, you know, and just actually use them. You have to use them actively a bit like the Wehrmacht has to use their machine guns. Section caught by the MG42 there. I'm switching force towards the center as I realise, hang on, they might be getting out on my teammates. I'm slowly beginning to push more forces towards them. I'm still being a bit cautious there. I don't know fully the positioning of the British opponent, but there you go, moving in here. Pathfinders out now, be able to have some tank traps ready to ambush any cracks on the move. In the southeast here, Pioneers as the echelons, more grenadiers away for Chiller, and I've already got them out. Push for the cuff point here. MD42 moving up, you're going to get caught by the section out in the open. Pioneers from west was there for the victory point here. Note, I was a bit tired doing this match. There will be a few slip-ups like this here and there. Just a heads up. I'm quite aware I fumble here and there. Anyways, managed to help him support and cut off the point there, denying the Allies the southern fuel. Down here we got Pioneers for resistance, more grenadiers on the way there for Chiller. And I'm going for a second MD42. I personally prefer the double grenadier, double MD42 into fast tech, and relying on heavier infantry, sort of carry the day. And there you go, Pioneers make the retreat as soon as they see the Vickers. More fighting in the east, more British force moving in there. We can certainly see that the Gardener and DarkElllf are working quite well together here. Able to swiftly react and also just, you know, push hard there. So far leaving me to a bit my own device, of course, forcing me to, you know, commit more and more force towards here, which of course could be part of DarkElllf's plan. Force me to, you know, support here and then switch towards hitting me on my side of the map, essentially, what you could consider mine. But there you go, guys, been caught here in a rather nasty pinch maneuver there from Gardener and DarkElllf. These MD42s moving out here, take up on the way for me. No sign of take up yet there for Chiller, nor sign of a doctrine. Few upon them being harassed by the Vickers, seizing up the point here. That's going to force me to divert forces there as well to defend the fuel, since, you know, that's kind of necessary for our tanks and whatnot. Machine gun opening up the sections there. One section needs retreating. Lots of fighting here happening across here. Certainly not a dull moment. Also lots of beacons being laid down here by Gardener slowly. At least there's one very aggressive set up there, by the way. I'm moving up here. I'm pretty sure there's a machine gun here, so I'm going to try and stop in a manner where I can sort of, you know, attack it from several angles, make it hard, of course, for it to slow me down. Going to do this right from the center, too many sections. Artillery flares up there, 4th section away there for DarkElllf. Take over there happening for Chiller. I'd like to make a nice company on the way from me. I could go for a 250 half-tech, but versus the British, I tend to be a lot more cautious about that because the AC can very quickly arrive and lock it down. I don't know exactly how he's teching, though he's going for very heavy tier 1. So rather than go for the 250 half, you can more or less almost immediately lose it. I'm going to at least go for 222 first, at which point I could consider backing out with a 250 half deck. Pathfinder's fighting here, going to these out in the open and a bad spot there for Chiller, forced to retreat. Calf point being hit. West side there collapsing a bit as I push ahead, but the calf point is still another threat there. Machine gun moving up. Going to these Pioneers moving up. They got the light to make a nice company up. Chiller still without a doctrine. There we go, second suppressed. Was not quite well positioned there, was the MG42 section defending the center victory point. In the east, Chiller continues with another assault here, backed up by the MG42. Pioneers with the flamethrower. Like to make a nice company down family. There we go, going with the 222, securing points here. And more fighting around the cuff point as DarkElllf leads another assault here with more troops moving in. And a few moving backwards as well. Machine gun close being wiped out. Not looking good here for some reason. As you might notice, the machine gun is not firing at all for several seconds. Hate when that happens. It's a bit of a thing that can happen. I find usually it only happens to me, but it can happen with some machine guns. But I tend to find it happens more with MG42s. Just basically, it does nothing for several seconds, and then I could end up really poor. In this case, I was able to at least grab it back before the British ran off with it, which it would have been absolutely awful for me. 2-2, they're arriving now. In the east, we got another attack here from Chiller, who is still suffering here under Gardner. Point there being secured, moving up here for the fuel point. But good aggressive harassment there for DarkElllf. Of course, he knows where to hit, he knows where it hurts. And that's why I'm moving in the 2-2, because that's less effective. Obviously, again, I'm expecting an AC anytime soon, but at the same time, I got to push it in somewhat aggressively here versus DarkElllf to have a chance. Moving up northwards here to aggressively harass, put pressure there on him as well, forcing him to divert his attention elsewhere. Troops reinforcing healing. There we go, going for the fuel point. 2-2 moving in, quickly appearing on one side as the MG4 troops up the other, forcing a route there. Very good. Biggest coming up here. Got to push for the cuff point there again. Chiller suddenly doing his best as he can with a 2-2 of his own. Gonna use MG4 troops planning moving out. They'll probably consider this stage maybe see if they can't find time to lay down a telemine, since if they can, you know, catch the AC with a telemine, that's going to be a huge tactical win for me in the early game. But there you go, Vic is in the way there. That's going to prevent me from just moving ahead and setting up that telemine right away. But of course, I can quickly move the 2-2, maybe try and force a route there. Machine gun also being out, this one splitting out a bit there. Gardner calling in a pick cover to back things up, would indicate he is going for the captain. But we got, nope, by the way, quadruple Pathfinders out there for Gardner. That's a lot of them. And go Panzerfaust and AC. That's just going to keep it off for a while here. In the east, again, quadruple Pathfinders. We've got machine gun dropped in there. 2-2 takes out the ambulance. Very nice work there by Chiller. And obviously, he doesn't really have to worry about anything from the Pathfinder itself. With the 5th caliber can be a problem. Now the ambulance is away there for Gardner. Really aggressive build in a lot of ways. Well, in some ways, of course, very vulnerable to light vehicles. Telemine's being laid down as they're going to try to draw fire away there, hoping he doesn't see it. Since again, if we can catch up the AC or any light vehicle on that telemine, that's going to be right grand. Stormtroopers called in here. I'm going to cover up this area with the MD-42 for now, and then I'm going to use the Stormtroopers to move up down here with the MP-40s. Try and maybe cut out the flank with the MD-42, see if they can't bait them into something there. But obviously, it's just going to be a horde of infantry into it. It's obviously not going to work out. Looks like they are kind of shifting up something here. Planning for a bigger push for the centre. I could also, by the way, lay down booby traps with the Stormtroopers. Not a bad idea, forgetting about the victory point there. Up here we got bolstering sections away for DarkElllf. Lots of sections and sappers, of course. We got another supporting called in here. Another 50 caliber for Gardner. Noting, by the way, no upgrades as of yet. No lieutenant, no captain. Very interesting order there by Gardner. More beacons. That's, I believe, his 3rd beacon so far. Grenadiers there being routed. We got a few light machine guns up there. No upgrades for my Grenadiers as yet. Oh, we got some veteran Scorpions on the way there. Very good upgrade I find. For numerous reasons. Stormtrooper hit them before sending up. Anticipating machine covering up here. So I'm going to move up the Stormtroopers to flank. Attacking from the front here, and there we go, machine gun flanked here, Stormtrooper up with the MP-40s, the Schmeissers cutting down those Inselhafen. Full right there, Grenadiers being held up here in the centre by the section. Still MD-40 is going to set up there, and Stormtrooper ultimate to flank, but then go hitting the calf point there. Moving up the 2-2 to back up his 2-2 versus the AC, hoping to do some damage for the smoke. Maybe catch it off guard. Doesn't end up quite fully working out the way it did, but still pushing him away there for a bit in the centre. More fighting going off there. British Marines to them before 2 Grenadiers at least playing some line of sight. And there you go. Retreating section there. Could the Stormtroopers take it out? Maybe they'll pop tactical advantage where something else might happen. So, right in this case, also apparently they're all reloading at the same time. Bummer. But they're. Holy smokes. Is he going for 6 sections? Really? Like, if that's what he actually did, I'm quite surprised. Oh wait, that's a lot of sections then. Plus the sappers, I mean, that's going to be a lot of stuff for him to manage. Oh, well, no. He cancelled one of them? Alright, so I guess it's just 5 sections, but still, that's still 5 sections. That is a lot of Tommies. Smoking off, runs straight for the machine gun here, trying to take advantage of my successes here to come up on Gardner's flank. Chiller tank 40 with machine guns and other things backing up. He's also up to 2 machine guns now to help deal with all the infantry. Stormtrooper being caught by a lot of infantry, going to have to retreat here, otherwise could have maybe carried on. And we got Chiller here with Spearhead Doctrine. Opening up for fragmentation bombs, Tiger tanks, Pan-Tactician, air reconnaissance, and of course the mortar half-track, though that one really doesn't see a lot of usage most of the time. Fresh push here from DarkElllf. We'll have to see what he's planning here. No sign of tech yet. Fuel ponds wise, been able to at least, harass them somewhat, keep them off that. Meanwhile, I am teching up here. Both Grenadier squads are now upgraded with veteran squad leaders. No take up yet there for Chiller. Machine gun around in the centre to by where I forgot about entirely, haven't repaired it. That's definitely a bit of an oversight on my side to put in mind. I also haven't grabbed the victory point up there. Still an oversight from me. AC taking hits there. Panzerfaust off. Almost got it, but it's still operable. MD-42 being flanked by the Pathfinders, being assaulted by the 5th caliber. Grenadiers being forced to counterattack around the curve point. There we go, so Palmer Core being built, troops healing and enforcing, Stormtroopers on the move, they're not fully healed. There you go. Veterans squad leader Grenadiers attacking here for the Panzer there. Panzer Destroyer quickly routing the section there. And moving up into the MD-42. Anti-tank being airdropped in for Gardner, who's floating a bit of manpower there. One wonders what he is planning. Still no sign of tech up. And DarkElllf there now going for second Vickers. Sony playing at something unorthodox there as well. Sabs there trying to fix up the AC, but Chiller's having none of that. He's pushing in aggressively. He might try and finish it off here and might succeed at it, in fact. MDU forming up from the centre, sections about here, plus Vickers machine gun on watch. Machine gun fire here. Almost got that AC. To a moving angle. Panzerfaust finishes off the bastard. Good work there by Chiller. Very good work. Hang on, just grabbing up the cat. Seemed to want a bit of attention here. Gonna do something about here, flanking the machine gun again. I mean, he's very consistently placing the machine gun around here, so I can sort of have an idea to flank it. In this case, though, something went wrong, I guess. Didn't quite execute as well as I could have. Another Vickers for DarkElllf. I also got artillery call in here. He's with concentration barrage. I mean, he's definitely executing anything but typical British dragon. Whoops, cat is now jumping up on my neck. My back. Stormtroopers, the sappers, artillery fire raining down the machine gun here. Sappers annihilated in a storm of 9mm parabellum bullets. I do wonder what the Allies are planning here. 6-pounder gun away there for DarkElllf. No sign of anything there from Gardner either. In the east we got machine guns, Pathfinder sending right here, anti-tank being routed a bit here. Pioneers flanking in from one side. Troops sealing reinforcing back here. We got tech on the way. This will Chiller, very good. I'm setting up for a Panzer IV, at least initially. And now we can see a DarkElllf is further enhancing whatever strategy he's got in mind here with trenches to cover this area. Meanwhile, I'm booby trapping and setting up for whatever might come next, as I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the devil the Allies are up to. In these Chillers holding up here by these southern farmhouses, maintaining a position and pressure towards the fuel point, but at the same time Gardner is proving to be a bit of a troublesome tenant. He's finally taking up their captain on the way. Machine gun opening up and then advancing British block. Machine gun setting up support though. Troops moving here to flank from another side. We got the 6-pounder gun going up. Machine gun coming here from the trench. Trying to flank about here to what the machine gun, of course the machine gun in the trench then sort of covers up that area pretty much, meaning any flank towards here are more or less dead in the water. 2 moving ahead because we've got the 6-pounder gun. In this case the 2-2 is too fast for the 6-pounder to actually immediately deal with. Somebody's moving in here. Floating a bit of manpower, so is my teammate. Can consider more Stormtrooper support them, would be a good idea. Of course, a Panzer IV, which can go for now, would also be a great idea. There you go, Panzer IV on the way. And certainly with the way that DarkElllf is playing, there we go, Mortar would be a really solid choice, at least for Smokescreen to help push ahead against the Tommies there, since he's going to dig in a lot. Smokescreen's going to do a reasonable degree there to negate that. Machine gun there routing the Pathfinders in the east. Panzer IV on the way as well for Chiller. Sealing reinforcing. Mortar almost done as well. And there we go. Section wing heading into the MD42 covered and booby-trapped point. Half, or less than half of that, plus a member dead. MD4 is going to open and finish off the rest of these forces are out there. So you can see the DarkElllf is really dug in. In fact, he's going for a trench here as well. And I'm more or less anticipating something like this. I'm basically anticipating to use this point to cover the point here, since that's how most players defend the point anyway. So we can use the mortar to smoke this area before then making a push against him. Then these MD4 troops being moved up. There we go. In this case, obfuscates the entrenched machine gun quite nicely. MD4 setting up to cover up as well. He should be setting up to cover up. He's taking fire. I was moving up to the other side here. Of course, I forget about the machine gun in the trench because I'm a bit of a putz. Panther the round to back up. The assault artillery called in here in the west. Stormtrooper in here as well there. We're taking heavy damage from the bunched up section, which performed just as well in the open as in cover. Bit of a oddity that appeared, since they kind of were meant to be only good in cover, so apparently decided they were just good everywhere. Anyway, section being pushed back by the Panther 4 Stormtroopers there. Can't quite keep up, but there you go. They're going to pop a smoke grenade. They're going to rush the trench again. Mortar firing down as well. And Panther moving up to back up. The machine here versus the sappers in the west. Storm's going to pop an incendiary grenade here into a Brandhandgranate, which was apparently a very rare grenade, and you don't really find a lot of sources from it except German ones. In fact, they more likely just used their version of the Molotov, which was known as the Brandflasche, which was basically an industrially made Molotov in dark green bottles, and usually they did not have sort of a storm match, or well, bit of a detonator, or what do you call it, like outlanding pin, like regular grenade. There you go, flanking the machine in the trench here, striking hard for the fatherland, and again through the power of smoke was ultimately able to pull through here. Remember to use smoke when attacking. It can really do a lot there to obfuscate a enemy defense. In the east, you can see there the allied player Gardner is heavily dug in as well. Chilla's not making much progress. He would also benefit from mortars and smoke screens for that matter. But so far though, Chilla does not quite seem to be quite on that line of inquiry. We got the armor there for Gardner, specifically a tank destroyer. DarkElllf is also taking up, and he's going straight for Anvil tactics, meaning he's going to be going for Churchills. So that way try and soak up damage, which means he's going to be in for a rough ride, because we're going for Stugs on a bunch of them. Because I like going for Stugs. Following up here with a assault and hold, which of course launches these points fast, and of course boosts the fighting power of my infantry. Until firing a machine gun and killing the crew immediately. And he's firing the trench of the section, boosted by the ability. And he's bringing up to provide further support. Mortar hammering away as well with the Tommies. Machine gun opening up there, so we can have trying to move about. There we go. Back in the trench there with the other machine gun. Machine gun at the centre here. Lots of machine guns overlapping. Panther moving out here. There goes. Going to do this tank here from the other side. Panther 4's going to move. Going to go for a deeper flank. I'm really going to use probably I can see the anti-tank gun, so I know I can hit it with the Panther 4. Sappers routed. There we go. Flanking up behind with the Panther 4. Pioneers bring up as well. Going to do holding out in the trench. Going for that anti-tank gun. And trying to clear out the anti-tank here, not quite working out. Going to lose lone health. Machine gun almost taken out here. Pioneers got support as well. Not quite a hit there. Machine gun there wiped out. Bit of a loss there for DarkElllf and for the Guards Armoured. Gardner and the 6th Armoured is quickly moving up tanks to back up here. Panther 4 is quickly falling back in the face of that, since it could maybe work out, but I would not rather risk it. MD42 is going to support firing rest of the Pathfinder centers, as Gardner's now being forced to support his ailing teammate here. Mortar firing down there, taking out some Pathfinders. Sturmgeschütz on the way to help deal with the Jackson tanks, or whatever British armor that arrive. DarkElllf there's calling in more concentration barrages around the centre this time around to force me off the road. Back here, Stormtrooper setting out again. Could consider some more infantry from my side. In the east, we got mortars up here as well. In fact, we got double mortars out for Chilla, bringing him up with a minor mortar battery to that way beat the Allies senseless. There's so far no sign of smoke there from him. Still, double mortars can lay down an impressive amount of firepower there, and certainly make it harder there for Gardner to do what he wants. We're putting up a tenacious defense here of the Eastern Fuel Point, making it very difficult for Chilla to have an easy approach of it. And the west there, mortar is hammering away at the Installaffen. Panther 4 they're covering up. Stormtrooper one bit back, their mortars routed as well. Sturmgeschütz 3, effectsbereit. Adding the pin mark machine gun. And at least we've got this being holded up here with machine guns, mortar fire to rain down there. Lobbed up Pathfinders. Right on the line of fire. The mortar is as you can see, there's a spectacularly bad idea, unless you're the Jones, in which case it's amazing for you. My God, Ludwig sees allies. It's almost like they're offering themselves as target practice. So yeah. When your opponent has double mortars, good advice is don't blob up. Stu getting the pin mark machine gun. Fun fact about Stu's, even the earlier models one, but though that was around then, but they did have actual machine guns as well, rather than just the machine gun on top. Fun fact. Though again, it was much more common on the late model Stu Gs rather than the early models.
We have been assigned fresh Panzer Grenadiers.
Panzer Grenadier out here, adding the support package. Very good package. He's gaining the victory point, but is failing to make any great strides here for Knightley's. But again, the double mortar is going to make it much harder here for Chiller or for Gardner to defend as he wants to. Though against Smokestream to make it easy for a push to happen, but just regular heavy mortar fire can still put a lot of attrition here on Gardner. We got more artillery out here from DarkElllf. He's really fond of that concentration barrage ability. Absolutely bloody melee here over the eastern victory point as Gardner launches another fierce assault. And we can see there that DarkElllf is running with artillery support here to try and bash Chiller's positions into senselessness. Another assault going up here. Once more smoke screen again to cover up here in case of machine gun in the trench. Machine gun is over here. He's not replaced one lost. We've got a Churchill away there for DarkElllf. Stormtroopers leading the west. Grenadiers, Panzers following up. Panther forming in as well here. Big old armoured push backed up by the Sturmgeschütz in theory. There you go. Machine gun routed here. Could try and take it out with the Stormtroopers, Panzers and whatnot. But I'm a bit more focused on the anti-tank gun for now. Quickly focusing down with the infantry. Panzers by the way now with support packs and see them move faster. And they also take less damage. Using the Stuke here to destroy the anti-tank gun so he can't get his hands on it again. Meanwhile, Grenadier Stormtroopers or Panzers doing what they can. Stormtroopers going for the carve point. Panther forward with the damage thanks to the sappers. Anti-tank gun destroyed. Stormtroopers dealing with the section there. Panzers doing what they can. Grenadiers already around it. And there goes Stormtroopers around the section there. Panzers doing what they can. Air support raining in here from Gardner to try and break up Chiller's farmhouse stronghold. And seems like he's finally pushed him out of the farmstead. But even then there's a remaining Grenadier squad that is not quite willing to let go. Church on the move here. Infantry moving up there. Half-track on the way there for me to provide some more frontline reinforcement, more abilities to push ahead. Faster once I see the Churchill, I'm just going to cancel that and go for another Stube since I'm going to need some firepower to stop that fat bastard. Shots being fired here. I'm going to try to take advantage of him, focusing on the Stube to flank here with the Panther behind the Churchill. Stube taking the Churchill then down to roughly half health, machine in the trench here. Churchill there taking heavy damage, could activate, could go down another pension here from the Stube. Second Stube almost done. Panther's going to blitz in. There you go. Bet you 2 gain smokes from going down here from the Churchill. Grenadiers moving up here to try and assist. If they could shoot and hit this. There you go. Veterans 1 gained. It misses the Stube at point blank range. There you go. Oh, the Churchill. Stu goes and actually gets abandoned, and note, I do not see this. Only found this out afterwards as someone in the chat points out, hang on, didn't that get abandoned? And it did. Much to my dismay. Otherwise I would have probably done something to destroy it before they got it back in action, but too late for that now. Jack's moving up here to go and once more try and back up his teammate. Gardner's forcing to spread out more and more thinly here as DarkElllf is suffering more and more issues, which of course makes it easier for Chiller then to make pushes. And we see that Chiller's actually been saving up here for a Tiger tank. There you go, another Stug out. Tiger tank mobilized here for Chiller and the Panzer Division. Ace machine gun in the trench.
The enemy is taking our territory.
So mortar firing. Following up, they need to be careful about that. Victory points wise, it's 269 versus 333. Grenadiers wiped out. Machine gun holding up the Allies here. Panther rolling back, virtually 216 kills, victory point there being hit. Big infantry push here, ready to push back the Allies, and we got another concentration barrage off here, this time on the trench. from DarkElllf. The very trench he had built on that road, he now has to call in 100 munitions worth of barrage to destroy, and it actually works out. In part because there's a telemine right next to it, obviously, which I'd laid down, and that set it off. That felt bad. For me, that is. I'm sure, though, DarkElllf is just amazed if he bothered to pay attention. Oh, there's storms coming up here. Quick attacks at advance here, which of course allows him to do more damage. Section almost wiped out. Push to the centre with the panzer moving up, flanking up the machine gun here. Tiger tank panzer a bit dinged up before waiting probably for repairs moving ahead. He almost got the 50 caliber, and there we go. Destroyed at that, in fact, so I can't quickly replenish my losses there myself personally. Can go for another Stug now, and he's of course got his Stug about there, the bastard. Troops reinforcing, healing for DarkElllf, and we got a Sherman on the way there for Gardner. Companies and watch it, closing eventually free. We got to push up with the Panther 4 and lots of pioneers to back it up. Stug moving ahead, you need to be careful about to move it. 6 pound gun moving to back up the Stug. I'm going for, of course, another Stug. Of course, at this stage, you might want to consider getting a fuel cache up to support both me and my teammate with a bit more extra fuel. Companies versus a lot of power plants backed up by the mortars and to tank them cleared out. Moving towards the centre, unawares what there's on my flank actually is a bit of a mistake on me there. We got the Stug there, moving up the flanking my Stug, quickly doing a lot of damage, pushing down to less than half health in a matter of moments, and it's gonna go down. Stug down to half health, guns bring up, of course, got a large tank of infantry plus the machine gun backing up the 6-pounder gun. Making that a bit difficult just to rush down, of course. There's another fragmentation vulnerabilities here for Chill, and I'm not far off from one as well. Got here fighting between Gardner and Chiller in the centre, got into tank them, Shermans all there pushing ahead. Chiller lacking an infantry screen to back up the target, who finds himself crumbling a bit under the push here in the west. I am routed as well despite best efforts here against DarkElllf, who puts up a valiant defence. Panther 4 halfway to Betsy 2 here. Quickly reconnoitres the farm and finds nothing. Going for more pioneers there. Stormtrooper moving westwards. Machine gun back up to help cover the cuff point here. My bunker, or my mortar, specifically not the bunker. And Stormtrooper hiding out. And there you go. No, I timed it with tactical advance first, so I should quickly set it up. There we go. Captain section here is recovering. Well, getting a wipe there. Plus ace level for the Stormtroopers. A nice little blow there to DarkElllf, who's now to just 2 sections. He's actually suffered quite a few heavy losses by now. Plus, of course, the loss of that church. I mean, he might have gotten a Stug, but I've gotten a lot more out of him. Just in terms of, you know, killing. Pioneer's mortars thing back there. Panzer's good to go. Let's motion down there over the centre victory point to help him push ahead there. Fragmentation bomb off here from Chiller Summer. Oh, it's on the eastern victory point. Pearson's annihilated. Starting up in the Pathfinder seat, ground the centre victory point. We've got to take some ring in as well. Quick about landing into all the bunched up Tommies. Doing a bit of damage again, actually to 1. Stug moving up. Has moving on his move, got more artillery raining down. He just artillery everywhere. Churchill halfway down there for DarkElllf and for the Guards Armour Division section routed back here. So much artillery and so many explosions. Fuel cache out there. Again, so just tell me push out more Stugs and possibly some half tracks if they get around to doing that. Churchill tank almost down there for DarkElllf. Gardner with, you know, reasonable amount of armour, though he could go more. He's got the manpower, he's got the fuel. And he's in hot pursuit of the anti-tank and trying to take that out to diminish the support for the Stug and any other stuff he might have. In the east, Gardner claims the farm, but is slowly finding himself being maybe routed a bit from it. Stug Panther moving up here to back up the gun easily hit for the carve point, maybe trying to destroy the anti-tank, and Baker's opening up though. Spotting a few easy targets here. Pathfinder's pushed back, Captain under head fire, Jackson on the Sturmgeschütz. Second one almost done. We got air support called in by Gardner to try and break up my armoured flank. To realise that this flank is actually quite exposed by that push. Aircraft crash down there. Another Jackson there for Gardner as he found himself in a dire need of tank destroyers. Panther 4 and Tiger Tank heading eastwards. No sign of further take there, and I'm not going to take up either. Grab the centre victory point. We got 239 versus 297. Got flares up here from DarkElllf. Early warnings, basically trying to focus out the line, reconnoitre the front line to get an idea of what we're up to. Me and Chiller. Churchill Stuke moving eastwards. Jackson moving in as well. So they're going to try and basically go for a big push here against Chiller. And of course, that means the flank is still virtually exposed to a counter attack by me. There we go, moving ahead. Sections there coming up with the machine gun in the trench. Not far off from a fragmentation bomb, possibly. Going to flank the Churchill tank, still in there, landing a good hit. Panther 4 down, bit of a blow there to Chiller, who's only got the Tiger tank. The question, of course, was he's planning it. This is tier 4 with Panthers and Sturmpanzers. So what is Chiller thinking here? Do taking a hit here from the anti-tank gun. Panther 4 can lose moving up here, smoking off the cover victory point against the machine guns in that trench. Panther moving in, can lose moving up as well here. Of course, the machine in the trenches make it difficult for men to keep pace here. Quickly trying to crash his magazine with a bit of a quick blitzkrieg. And we go, wipes a full section. DarkElllf is down to just one section now. Some sappers and a mix of other things. Jackson in here. Stu taking that as I try to get out of that one. Need to get that Panther out there before that gets annihilated. That would be quite a nasty blow there to me. Jackson rolling ahead. He's retreating. Panther standing on watch. We got Gardner going for more Shermans here. Chiller's taking advantage of the chaos I'm causing there on their flank to basically push up through the south here, put more pressure on Gardner. And another stew for me. Another machine gun there for DarkElllf. Not a lot of infantry, but he's now back to 3 machine guns here versus the Germans, the Huns, the Harrys. To basically hold them up. Certainly getting a more defensive style player than increasingly from the Stormtrooper. We're just waiting it out here, hoping for anyone to get close enough to just murder them. Of course, I could consider just moving up to support there a bit more actively. They don't get revealed by the flares. Sherman up there for Gardner. Stu moving up here. Another Stu arriving. Panther being repaired. Bold move there by DarkElllf. In this case, this little raid pays off nicely for him. I certainly regret losing that Stu to him, to put it mildly. Big push of the tank destroyers towards the eastern victory point here, though finding not a lot for them to actually blow up. Push for the centre, they got a fragmentation bomb ready as well. Spot some support bombs and they're going to call it in and going to destroy them for the fatherland. Yeah, the tank going to try and go alongside the machine gun. Sadly, not fast enough, and both anti-tank and machine gun get decrewed. I'm just going to flank him from the other side, going to get past the machine gun into that maybe. But we can see that Gardner is quick to back up his team and they're switching all of his armour away from the centre to quickly carry up the flank here before DarkElllf suffers another blow there. Quite realising how in a decrepit situation DarkElllf is at the moment. Mortar firing down the machine gun. Stu covering up here. Panther 4, which is almost ace-low moving up. Churchill Stu on the way. Got a target here with 6 kills. What is he planning? He's got for tier 4, but he's yet to build it. Bunker down.
Flares ready to illuminate the front lines.
We got a lot of armor then actually for Gardner. We got double Jacksons and double Shermans. He's also got still a bunch of Pathfinders left. He's actually going to keep his Pathfinders alive better than DarkElllf going to keep his sections alive. Churchill running forward, 5 kills, veterans do 1. Popping a grenade here. Panther going for flank alongside that Stu moving in. Knowing by the way I'm pushing aggressively but with no support from armor, that's actually a bit of a mistake there by me, to put it very mildly. Bit of blitzing into some right car support. Got to get quickly out of there into better positions. Tiger tank moving up. H2 Panther moving ahead. Tiger tank taking H2 from the Jackson and the Sherms moving in. Stu down. Because they finally able to put that his appropriate vehicle to end. Churchill ain't got smoke screens. Fragmentation bombs going in there. Almost taking out the church, but not quite. Churchill bounces shot after some shots, the others do not. And I'm going in for the kill here. Ace level on the Panzer IV. Shot bounces from the Stu down, sinking in the Panzer IV. Stu down. And I should have just kept focusing on the Churchill around trying to out the Jackson, and I lose the Panzer IV, pretty much throwing away most of my armour here, in fact all of it. Not very good there. I'm quickly able to replace it with more Stugs. Stormtroopers remain on the defense here in the victory point. I probably should realise they could do better good elsewhere. And again, I should have backed up with infantry. That would have done a lot more good for me than just rushing my tanks alone. That was not very well executed, obviously. Back here, repairs going on. Still in the heavy panzer corps there for Chiller. 98 versus 288. I'm also going to go for a pack 40 this time around. Tiger tank being fixed up. 12 coach 21, 76 and 18. Now the Sturmgeschütz arriving, and there goes Stormtroopers are fine on the move here. Mortar fire raining down, Panzer flanking up behind the machine gun. Nice, incendiary help is around support. Then we got on top of that, Assault and Holy just further boost firepower. Machine guns going to straight here, but the Panzer is ready to. The two of course getting boosted by it. Stormtroopers, Pioneers, Grenadiers all moving in the side. Machine gun wiped out by the Panzer Grenadiers with all that. Machine gun routed here as well, and Stank could find himself the next victim here. Pioneers went on the flank here to cut off, harass, and deny the Allies' resources. Stormtroopers were just kind of forgotten. Grabbing the machine gun there with the Pioneers. Got down to, well, still 98. Trying to take out the anti-tank crew here, but not quite succeeding. At 40, Sturmgeschütz sort of moving towards the front line ever steadily. There you go, Gardner's Champion's moving up there. He's also pushing through here in the east to try and push back Chiller a bit, who is still not building that heavy panzer corps. Instead, we got Panzer Grenadiers on the way for him. Not a bad choice. Double machine gun to come to the centre victory point. Here, expecting the weight of the Allied push to be here. Got their victory point. Machine needs to retreat. Stu covering up. Pack covering up soon as well. And we got Stormtroopers here by the way. Not allowed to find. They're just getting shot to bits. Popping smoke screen here. So then to put a section on the other side of it. And then retreating. Finally, Chiller gets his heavy panzer corps, and he could easily have gone up soon and had Panther out maybe by now. Or Sturmpanzer though. He does have a lot of other units, so they might not be able to do action. In fact, he can't. Still, dog mortars pretty good there. Dog machine guns, lots of grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers, packs, and whatnot. Looks like Gardner's planning up something here as Chiller makes another move for the eastern victory point, going down to 86. And we got a big armoured push here. Another Stug on the way for me, another Sturmgeschütz. Tiger tank effects provided here for Chiller and the Panzer there. Panzerjäger's up here, so that's why I went for them to help deal with the armour that way, I guess. '79. Allies slowly moving up in the north. Flares off again here from DarkElllf. Again, he's trying to get an idea there where I'm positioned, where he can sort of sneak in, maybe do some damage. Tiger tank shoots, misses. Pathfinder moving in here, victory points down to 69 for them versus the 272 of the German army. Almost got all 3 victory points, at which point the Allies are going to be under some severe pressure to, you know, do something. Worth noting, he's actually solving up with the munitions. He's not going straight for the victory points. At this stage, I'd just go straight for the victory point, ignore the munitions, to be honest. Churchill Farfar here, good to go for DarkElllf. Stormtroopers moving up. Moving about there, Sturmgeschütz moving ahead. And I'm moving up to defend because I'm expecting a push here sometime soon. And got them down to 47. We got all 3. They're going to be likely, you know, if they're smart, at least trying to push for more than 1 point. At least, you know, stick up some force at the northern point. So that's basically what I'm setting up for there. Of course, I'm ready for some sort of last-ditch, all-in rush on the centre victory point as well, which is how I'm trying to position my forces. So I can sort of combined push from both Gardner and DarkElllf from the centre, but also I can quickly react if he suddenly makes a big push towards the north. I'm expecting something up north. You can see there's just one section there. Centre on the way there. We got Sherman up here. Packs don't have to turn about there. Now, with the Sherman here drawing attention away there, he's trying to make a run here from the north, hoping I do not have any other things I'm going to support. Though, of course, I got the Stooks in reserve, ready to counter exactly such a move. We got air support being called in the south here, as Gardner's now trying to break up Chiller around here as well. And Stooks coming up, dealing with the Firefly first. Stormtroopers Grenadiers defend the point here. Tactical advantage on the Stormtroopers, just push away any infantry away there. Up north, Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers, Pioneers defend the point here. Stoop down, tragically. And there we go, GG, game over. A loss here for the Allies, a victory for Germany. A brutal fight alongside this strip of road against the Allies. So there you go. Lots of, neat elements here, like to figure. The smokes they were thinking quite good at times, just undermining DarkElllf's defences there. So that played a big role. Then ultimately just causing him a lot of casualties, as all of a sudden his defence was just completely overrun. And so on, there was a Panzer IV in the midst of everything, just causing high casualties. Storms were quite well. In fact, I almost used every ability in the doctrine except the 250 half track. Bit of a shame there. Could have full doctrinal bingo. For shame. Chiller, Tiger Tank, this, and I believe Panzer Tactician, but no half track, so no air reconnaissance. Gardner made reasonable use of everything. In fact, by the end, he also used the paratroopers. He acted full doctrinal bingo. DarkElllf with, well, some of it, but actually not a lot of the doctrine. Some interesting strategies there by the Allies. Gardner was probably a bit more, conventional, whereas DarkElllf was definitely a bit more usual. Certainly something to pay notice of. There's for me, it's a bit my own blend, but not, I would say, wildly atypical. And Chiller was, I would say, much more conventional. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. Don't tell your enemies, in fact. Tell your family instead. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pitch on Patreon. Every donation helps to keep making these videos day after day. So do consider it. Links are in the video description. This is ImperialDane. Cheers. Thanks for watching. You all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.